Do you ever wish you could be one of those people who was really bright and positive and optimistic like all of the time? Or even just more positive more of the time? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. I'm Krishanti and welcome back to my channel where the topics are always about intuition and spiritual and personal growth. And you hear a lot of people in the spiritual world talk about like, be positive and raise your vibration and all of that. But what they don't necessarily speak to is the fact that for many, many people, it's a challenge. It's not easy to be positive all of the time. So we're going to talk about ways to get there in this video. And the first and most important thing to be aware of is if you want to start being more positive in your life, you've already made the biggest step. You've made the decision, you've set the intention. So you're really halfway there. You've done a bulk of the work. Now, something that's really important to know is when you start to be more positive, you're shifting your energy. And when energy shifts, it vacillates. So it's not like I decided I'm going to be positive and I'm going to be here all the time. Where before maybe you were baseline like here. What happens is there's a pendulum type of swinging effect. And so you'll be able to be happy like here or positive, like, okay, I've decided I'm starting this positivity, it's here. I guarantee you something will happen. Now don't let this deter you, but something will happen where you'll swing back to the negative. What you want to do when that happens is keep your thoughts, keep clear the purpose, and like they just keep reminding yourself this is what you want to get to, and this is just one of the inevitable setbacks. Bring it back up to positive, and then you'll find it swings a little bit back, and you'll be able to bring it up. It'll swing back down, and then eventually you'll get to a place of equilibrium. But what deters a lot of people is when the backsliding first happens, like I'm doing good, everything's great, a whole week of positivity, and now this happened, and it's a few days of like down where I didn't want to be anymore. That is temporary. If you just are adamant about it, you'll be able to continue this. It's just something that happens with energy, so don't let that deter you. First things first. The second thing that's really important, and here's a concrete step towards creating more positivity, is be very intentional about the way that you speak to yourself and your internal dialogue. Speak to yourself kindly, softly, gently. Tell yourself you love yourself. The way that you speak to yourself is so vital and critical in creating the whole state of your life. And I bet if you're feeling like too much negativity or there's too much in your life, there's some improvement that could be made on how you're talking to yourself and how you're treating yourself on the inside. So just make it a point to be nice if the unkind things come up, or you're beating yourself up, or you're like saying something that you always say. Just say, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, no, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, I love you. Just keep with that. Now this sort of piggybacks on this other step, but if you really want to make this a sweeping, huge change, you want to fundamentally here look at the foundational level of how you treat yourself in your life, not just how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself. And I don't want this to be too overwhelming here, but it's like, look at your home, look at how you're living, look at how you're presenting yourself. Are you eating well? Are you taking care of your body? Are you going to the doctors or healers? Are you making sure that your needs are met? Because some of us don't, and that can feed into more of an atmosphere of negativity and kind of stop an energy of positivity just by not, taking care of your body. So you don't feel good. So how can you be positive if you're like eating junk food? You get what I'm saying? All about like how you're earning your income, like how are you treating yourself? Are you going out of your way to help people that don't give a crap about you? Are you letting yourself get taken advantage of at work? Or, you know, like just really look at like, how am I letting myself be treated? And then make changes that are for your highest good. Now the next one is a part of that, and it's so big. It's like the people in your life have so much to do with your vibration and your energy. And you can carry people with you in your life who you think are your friends. You can't really do much about family, but you can carry people who you may think have your best interest at heart, but when you start to be more positive, or you start to make good changes for yourself, you start to maybe just enhance your own natural beauty, go for career opportunities that are like outrageously wonderful and amazing and get them, and you start to feel more happy and like, yes, there are people that don't want that for you. And I'm not saying this to be a Debbie Downer. I'm saying this because you want to be fully aware of who has your back, who wants to see you grow, and who's down here that wants you to come down to this level. Because remember when I was talking about that pendulum thing, people really affect your energy. And an easy thing you can do is notice, like, if you're feeling good, you're having a good day, and then you start interacting with someone and you feel bad afterwards, write that down and notice if it happens again. And if it happens consistently, I would advise you to limit your interactions with that person. Because if you're here and they're here and you just want to stay here or even get higher, some people just can't not. And so you have to come down, or sometimes they'll take from you, especially if you have healing energy. If you're watching this or you're familiar with this channel, you probably are like a healer and intuitive. People will want to take your good energy, and it's something to just be aware of. Now, I want to pause here. The next step is something fun and energetic, but a couple of things. If you are working on increasing your positivity and have had to make foundational changes in your life in order to do that, please share in the comments below. Or if you have any insightful comment about shifting to a more positive mindset or trying to live more positively and making that successful, please share. And if you like this video and other videos here on the channel, please subscribe, because I'd love to see you here. So yes, people, that's a big one. And you can use that as a long-term project. You don't have to go get rid of people left and right, but just notice, like, does this friend really want to see me shine? Are they making improvements in their lives? Did they seem positive and happy? Do I feel positive when I'm around this person? And that's very, very telling. And we'll talk more about that, I think, in other videos, because the people and the vibrations is just everything, especially if you're sensitive. But onto a really cool energetic technique that will help you. Back to that negative, positive kind of energy. It is inevitable that things will happen in life that are upsetting, or that people will upset us, or, you know, it's not easy life. And I think a lot of spiritual people don't really just say that, and some people get, I think, upset when I say that. Ages ago I made a video about my guides calling Earth a pain school. It is challenging. There's war, there's famine, there's hatred, you know, and to stay positive amidst all this, not toxically positive where we're faking it, but genuinely feeling like we're safe, we're okay, and life is overall good, can be a major feat for a lot of us. This energetic technique is such a good one. Let's give an example of how we can use it. Let's say you're having a pretty decent day, and then something happens that's just really upsetting and triggers a sort of avalanche of negative thoughts. What I want you to do is imagine that you're harnessing the energy of the sun, like the sunlight, the brightest light possible, and just flood it with that whole vibration, the whole everything, everywhere, wherever it is, just flood it with light. It could be in your head, you can feel it in your body. The light is erasing it, like just it's dissolving into light. And then after that, just breathe in light. Breathe it in like you're purifying it. Let it go all through your aura. I swear to you, this has a very real effect. Just let that light in and just let it go into all the spaces, and it will shift your vibration. If you love energetic techniques like that that really work, come to Krishanti.com and check out. I'm going to do some live workshops, so come onto the mailing list. You'll get a free gift. And check out when those are coming up about intuition and energy work. But I also have a lot of beautiful guided meditations that can help you shift your energy too, and courses, so just check that out. But that really does work. That it's pure energy. It's pure brilliant light, and that does dissolve obstacles and helps make things a little bit easier. And as you're continuing on this path, something that's really helpful, that is something that everybody else says, but it does work, is to remember the things that you've created for yourself. Remember what you can do. Remember what you love. So it's gratitude. Just think about this. There is beauty in the world. And if you try to start your day with something like that and always remind yourself of the joys of life and the things that you're grateful for, it will help. But I want to say this and bring this back because it's so important. Being positive all the time, if you're not hardwired, like you didn't have a wonderful upbringing and you don't have like a perfectly functioning brain and just this golden life, it can be a challenge. And it's okay to not be positive all the time. It's okay to have those moments of like, I feel upset. I feel like life stinks. It's really challenging. But what you want to do is remember that you can always lift yourself back up. And you can always come, bring it back around. I feel that if you're seeing people in the spiritual world, or you're hearing people talk about being positive all the time and being positive even when it's not appropriate to be positive, I would really think about that and know that that's not necessarily the way that it is. We cannot walk around avoiding negativity all the time and pretending that it doesn't exist, or pretending that everything's great when it is not. So on that note, I think I really believe that sometimes feeling the emotions that are overwhelming when terrible things happen, and terrible things do happen, is a part of the healing process. You can't pretend that you don't feel bad when someone that you love is dying of cancer. You can't pretend that, you know what I'm saying, about all of these things that are going on in the world. But what you can do is know that while there are things that are terrible and there is darkness, there is also light and there is also joy. And that's the thing, I think, to force yourself to be happy even when circumstances aren't in alignment with that is to push yourself a little too much, So that's a kind of flip side of the whole thing. But my belief is get through it if it's a really challenging time that a lot of people go through, and then get back to just building up the positivity, just like little by little, You want to pay homage to your emotions and let yourself just work through them. But the whole back to the idea of having that positive mindset more of the time, you can absolutely start to foster and create that, and it will be really wonderful. And again, the thing is there are going to be times when you need to accept that it's not a time for positivity, but it will be maybe tomorrow. So come over to Krishanti.com if you want more insights and tools that will help create a happier and more positive life. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.